shit on your own.
Let me read some comments. It says, refreshing to see a journalist stand up for the people. We need someone like him in Canada. Another comment, it says, my friend worked for the last 3 years as NYPD operator and dispatcher, not missing one day, healthy the whole time, constantly checked and tested, using public transportation with no mask, no shots, no gloves, no wipes, no Lysol, etc. In a crowded call center until finally being terminated 4 months ago for refusing the vaccine and still waiting for my final check to be paid. For 4 months. Thank you. Keep doing your thing. Man, that dude was venting.
So,
Let me
nah,
read
nah,
another.
I think that was a little bit irresponsible. Like no sanitizer, no spray, no like you ain't use shit to try to protect yourself.
Well,
Nothing.
they probably was, but he was saying that they didn't provide none of that.
Oh, they did. Okay, okay. That's all right. That's the point I missed. I thought you said. Okay, all right.
Because if it's your job to be out there doing that shit, you would think that your job would give you the stuff that you need. That these are the tools that you need for your job.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. No, not. No, I get it. Like I get it now. I thought he was saying like, yeah, I done did all this stuff and that blah blah blah, and I ain't used this. I didn't use that. That's what it sounded like at first. But when put when I hear that he's saying like without this job preparing, I mean offering or
yeah. So he said he worked
providing
through
that.
it and he didn't get sick, and then he said he ended up getting fired for not taking the vax. And then he said it's been 4 months. They still haven't paid him his last check.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I like the people that are my partners in trucking because you know what I'm saying, like they could have been like trying to force me to go get a shot or some shit. And it's like, man. And then after everything, you find out that these things are more harmful than they are helpful. Like, bro.
Let me read some more. It says, I dare to say the best moment of journalism since April of 2020. A judge saying that what we all knew but were told not to say out loud, and a journalist saying it with emotion that we all felt. This is just the beginning of days of recompense, but it is a beginning nonetheless. Thank you, Kim, for not re-recording over your true emotions. You are helping others by being real in a time of falsehood. Another comment, it says, I worked right through the pandemic as a caregiver and was made to feel uncaring, anti-vaxxer, etc. I went to work terrified every day for months. I do not regret refusing the experimental gene therapy crazy world.
Mm.
Another comment, it says, the most disturbing thing to me was not the vax mandate. The most disturbing thing to me was how many people were silent as their coworkers, friends, and families were clearly discriminated against and said absolutely nothing.
Mm. I ain't gonna lie. Like right now, I feel like I protesting because I mean, we went through the whole pandemic trying to do, like we're keeping America moving. Where like a bunch of people actually quit, because of their fear of, catching something, this, that, and the other. But for those that like were here the whole entire time, it's like, especially like right now, like rates are lower and fuel is higher. It's like, shit, I own a truck, but I'm getting paid like I'm a company driver. You know what I'm saying? Because of those dynamics, they paying less for the load, and then the fuel is higher than what. Like I'm spending over $3,000 a week, and like just that's just fuel. That's not my insurance. I mean, thank God my truck is paid for, but just fuel a week, $3,000 a week in fuel.
That's ridiculous. Let me read another comment. It says, transit employee here. I got lucky and was never mandated to get the poke, but this ruling is like a breath of fresh air. I've heard so many ignorant and hateful comments about the unvaccinated in my workplace and have to hold to my tongue, and it continues to this day. Fortunately, I never had to stand up against it, but your emotional response resonates with me, one of the victims of this tyranny. Another comment, it says, let's hope this is part of a domino effect of the triumphant court cases that will finally stop this tyranny. Another comment, it says, cried watching this. Thank you, Kim, for being a guided beacon of light during the darkest years I've seen. Another comment, it says, I cried with you, Kim. I lost my job at NYC Charter School. I hope this ruling helps my case, as it was a catastrophe for me and my family. I hope the workers get their back pay and jobs stacked. I hope the ruling class feels some shame. I still cannot believe it happened. God bless this judge. Yeah, I think somebody needs to pay. I think that people should really be angry about how the thing was dealt with. You know, I'm trying to be careful how I say this, but it's like,
Well,
you know, we should be pissed. You know, no matter what side you're on this topic, you should be
well,
pissed about how
you're
it was dealt with.
100% because period, it was not handled, properly. Uh, because I mean, some of the things based on the the previous administration that was in, and the way that they treated him, to find out that the exact things that he was recommending was things that would have helped, instead of going through, like, because I mean, one thing for sure, the people here now, like, a part of their stick is to use fear tactics. And this is one on one when we're dealing with these people, is that, you know, they get a, they know that they get a better response, or they get more people activated when you put them under a certain level of fear. But when it's false fear just to get what you want, you trying to sell some shit that you done invested in. That's the part that I'm very angry about, because I made a post earlier this week. It's like, if you really watch what your politicians are invested in, that you'll see right away why they push that more over anything else. And it's all about the dollar. It's not about you. It's them trying to make, like, the projections that they shot for, they really trying to hit those numbers. So they, what I'm saying, they campaign against that, or campaign for that thing with no, no, just like no remorse.
Yeah, man.
And I
It's
and I think
crazy,
about
crazy times.
yeah, and I think about the people who was really harmed through all of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like, really, like, physically, like, some people not here today because of some of the things that like the anxiety. Just think about how, people who might have gotten a little sick, and because they find out, or feel, they fail a test, thinking, okay, oh, I'm about to die, and then really it's not totally the sickness that they die from. Because I mean, partially maybe, but just think about the anxiety that goes through some people, and then the hyperventilation, like all these different things that push the the narrative of, oh yeah, they were just, this had this illness, this sickness or whatever, but the anxiety had more of an effect on it than the actual sickness itself.
Your Dime qué tú quieres, papi. ¿Quieres que lo mueva para ti? Mueve, mueve. ¿Te gusta cuando me muevo así? Así. Your microphone. I want